Okay, this is video 4 for exercise 3, subjects and verbs, which we've already been practicing. This time we're adding in prepositional phrases. We will continue to double underline the verb, single underline the subject, but we're going to put a line through the prepositional phrase. This helps us kind of recognize that a subject and verb will never be found in the prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a phrase that begins always with a preposition. Prepositions are small words like with and into. There is a list on the very first page of your Quarter 1 packet. There's also a list on page 25 of your language study handbook. It's a really good idea to go through these exercises with that list right next to you and to start memorizing or recognizing these prepositions when you see them. Okay? A prepositional phrase will begin with a preposition and end with a noun, such as in this phrase, by is the preposition and lake is the noun. The whole phrase is used to modify something in the sentence, to provide further information. In this case, it's going to tell us where. Prepositional phrases can also tell us how, or when, or what. And the sentence can sometimes still make sense without the prepositional phrase. Let's take a look. Number 1 has been done for you. The students in Mr. Lin's class were having an argument. In is the preposition, and class is the noun. So that is why it's crossed out as the prepositional phrase. We could still make sense of this sentence if it said the students were having an argument. That's why we've crossed it out. Then we know that having is a verb, and were is the helping verb in this case. Let me go ahead and label them for you. This is the helping verb, this is the linking verb, and the students is the subject. Let's take a look. I've selected 2, 5, and 7 to practice with. So the first thing is to read a sentence. They were arguing about inventions. I've got to find the preposition first. In this case, because I'm familiar with my list of prepositions, I know about is a preposition. So now I'm going to test to see if it's a prepositional phrase and see if there is a noun afterwards that goes as part of the phrase. In this case, I see that inventions is the noun. So this is my prepositional phrase, starting with the preposition and ending with the noun, about inventions. I'm crossing it out. That leaves me with they were arguing. It still stands as a sentence, it just doesn't give me very much information. That's what the prepositional phrase was for. It gave me information. So, they were arguing. Arguing is my action verb. Were is my helping verb. And they is the subject. Let's try 5. I am thinking of the refrigerator, countered Zach. All right. Before I look for the prepositional phrase in this one, because somebody is saying something, I'm probably going to have 2 verbs and 2 subjects. So I'm going to look for right here, kind of do a slash to indicate that I'm going to have 2 things. I'll do the first part first. I'm thinking of the refrigerator. Of is a preposition. I know that from my list and from my memory. So I'm going to look and see if there's a noun that follows in the phrase. There is. It's refrigerator. Here's my prepositional phrase, crossing it out. So I'm left with I am thinking. Thinking is a mental exercise. So that's an action verb. Am is the helping verb that is helping out thinking. And I is the subject. I am thinking. Still makes sense, but of the refrigerator gives us more information. Then I'm over here, countered Zach. So he said it. So that's an action as well. Right? Take a look at number 7. It's the other one I've selected for us. Scott declared, how can you consider anything except the car? Well, first of all, I have the same sort of thing. Somebody's saying something, so I'm going to know that there's 2 things here. I'll start again with the first part. Scott declared. Well, I have 2 words, and one's my subject and one's my verb. To declare something is an action, and Scott's the one who did the declaring. How can you consider anything except the car? Okay, this is a question. We've not seen one of these yet, so this might be interesting. But let's first see if we can find the prepositional phrase. Except is a preposition. Except the car is probably my prepositional phrase, because car is the noun that ends the phrase. Okay. Finding the verb might be tougher. I think it's consider, because that's the action in this case. It's a mental action. You is considering, but right here, can, in this case, is the helping verb. This is why I wanted to do this sentence. Because my subject, you, is in between my helping and my action verb. And that happens sometimes, especially when we've got a question or we've inverted something. All right. I hope that I gave you enough to go by for prepositions. If you need more help, you should turn to page 23 through 25 of your Language Arts Handbook. I'm going to ask you to choose, let's see, there's 20 on this one. I'm going to ask you to choose 8 more. However, one of those 8 has got to be number 17. I want you to pay extra attention to number 17 because it's going to be an example of the you understood subject. So that's why I'm going to make you do that one. All right? So choose 8 and 17's got to be 1. And then move on to the next exercise.